Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to our Wednesday afternoon call. It's now 2 o'clock Eastern Time, October 18th. We have an interesting presentation today. It's something that we've been talking about for the last few months now. It has to do with AI, artificial intelligence. And everybody seems to be taking part in it. They're using it to develop their blogging, their classified ads, which is good to use. You can get ideas from it. Um, bullet point. If you use it to start off your blog, you can get, different sections with ideas of what to write about, which, makes it easier. If ultimately you're going to be doing your own writing on it, but that's great for giving you suggestions. Now, being that it's so new, there's a way to use it that would help you even further than just asking random questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through different ways of utilizing the Chatgpt. And this, of course, is being recorded. And I also made it in a PDF format that I'll give you guys at the end. And if I forget to do that, I'll put it in the Skype anyway, along with a video. Okay. So look for that. So let's see. Let me share my screen, see where I'm at here. Oh, there we go. And move this out of the way. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I made it nice and big so you can really see it. Now, as I said, it's important to write down specifics. And that's important. Normally, we're just doing generalities, but let's see how to ask questions for different purposes. First of all, there's 5 ways to use the Chatgpt. That GPT is a particular program, in reference to AI. That's what Rory uses all the time, and he suggests to use it. So that's why I'm talking about this. There's a whole bunch of other types out there, but let's just stick with this because actually what you learn here today can be applied to any of those programs, okay? So pertaining to the SEO, 5 ways to use it to improve your search engine optimization strategy. That's what SEO stands for. Now, let's go down the chart here. First of all, keywords researching prompt. So let's say you want to find a keyword for the blog that you're working on. You can generate a list of long-tail keywords for this. Just put in your topic name. Now, what does long-tail keywords mean? Well, if you look in your dashboard on your blog page, administrative site, that when you're working on your blog, on the bottom it says key phrase, right? Well, again, understand when you have one keyword, it's a word, so it's a keyword. When you have 2 or more words for your keyword, it's a key phrase or a long tail keyword, multiple words put together. Okay, to clarify that so you know what that means. And now you'll understand what you're looking at and what you're going to put into your keyword or key phrase at the bottom of your new blog page. Now, when you want to generate some ideas on, like I was saying before, on what to say in your blog, or the second one down, content ideas prompt, you can tell them to generate 10 blog post ideas for this subject. Let's say it's for nutrient dense beef. So when you get into Chatgpt, at the bottom, you say, please generate 10 blog post ideas for nutrient dense beef blog. Specify the blog also. So In other words, pretend that the AI is a child, that you really need to be specific. You don't want to use, see, if you use generalities, that's what you're going to get back. It can only extrapolate what you give it, and then it'll do its best to give you an answer. I mean, sometimes I got so fast, I'm typing in, write the next, give me like 10 headlines for, and I accidentally hit my enter key and it goes up and it starts spurting out things. Well, he doesn't know what I want yet, but it'll give you something. It'll give you some feedback, man. So it's great. It's just like talking to another person that says, well, I know everything, so I'm going to tell you what I think you want. So you don't want what they think you want. You want them to tell you what you want to know specifically. That's quote specifically. Now you go down your blog page and you want to do something for your meta tags, right? So when you're writing your meta description, you tell them, tell it, however you want to say it. Write a meta description that accurately describes nutrient dense beef. We're using that subject today, okay? So then he'll extrapolate from the internet and give you ideas for that. Now you can use them, you don't have to use them, you can interchange them, but again, you're getting ideas, so that's what you want. Now in the meta description, of course, you want to put your key phrase right at the beginning of the description and then write it until the line turns green. You all should know that. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you will when you do your modification of your pages. Everything should always be green in your SEO, and Yoast will help you do that. Now, in the blog itself, you can blog outlines prompt. You can say, create an outline for a blog post on the topic of the nutrient dense beef. Right? Now, if you want to ask questions about anything, you can always start it off that way. Say, what are the most important questions people ask about nutrient dense beef? What are the basic information for writing a blog? Any questions. Now, everything that I'm going to give you today was taken from uniquetrick.com, as you can see on the bottom, because it was very informative, and I feel that you will get the most out of this than me trying to do it any other way. Now, I have to keep moving the pictures. Okay, how to ask questions in Chatgpt. So let's continue. Just typing your question in the chat box is not the right way to get accurate answers. Chatgpt follows some specific patterns to answer queries, and this hasn't been really established to us on any of the meetings. They've gotten bits and pieces, but let's try to get it all together today so you completely understand how to utilize this tool. Chatgpt follows some specific patterns. Following are some super useful ways to use Chatgpt. Open-ended questions is something that you want to say when you're doing a BRT also. It's excellent. Most of the people using chat, I'm just going to say chat instead of Chatgpt. It's just taking too long to say that, so I'm cutting it down to chat. When I say chat, you'll know what I mean. So most people using chat want some ideas or suggestions. That means you don't want your answers to be a yes or a no. That's a closed-end question. You want it to be an open-ended question. So you ask open-ended questions to get more detailed information to understand any topic. Now, how to create open-ended questions? Okay, very good question. Again, think about BRTs and everything. To create open-ended questions, focus on asking questions that start with what, you know, what are you doing today? You are working, how are you getting along, with what you're currently doing? I'm talking about if you're talking to people in a BRT, which of the following goals would you like to obtain? Why is this important to you? Okay. With chat, you can ask similar type questions, beginning with those, and you can then say, tell me or explain it, because this type of question gives more details. Okay. And the AI can only give you, again, what you ask for. So you don't have to just do one sentence. You can do a whole paragraph when you're asking AI to give you information. So don't think it only has to be one little sentence. Don't be afraid. You got the whole chat box to type in. Okay. Now, suppose I want to improve my email writing. Then which type of questions should I ask chat? Email. Here are some examples of open-ended questions. What can I do to improve my email writing? That's a simple question that can help you, right? How do I start email writing? Which mistake should I avoid to write an email? Tell me some best ways to write an email. So what that AI chat will do, again, is go to the internet. Instead of you doing research all over the internet, here, there, and everywhere, it will do it for you at super speed and give you the answers that you would eventually find on your own if you had hours and hours and hours just to do that, which you don't. So here's a way to expedite it. This type of question gives clear information that you're looking for, right? Yeah, thank you, Kim. So here's some specific questions. It will help chat to understand and process your queries effectively. On the other hand, when you ask questions on chat without specifying, then it'll give a generic answer, which will not satisfy you. And that's what I previously said, right? So if you ask specific questions, quote unquote specific, it gives a personalized answer and it gets actually what you want. And now I've found also, I don't think I have it in here, but if you say, give me an answer to this question that would be asked by a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old, and whatever question you asked it, it will respond with an answer in the language of that age group you specify. I don't know if you knew that, but that's interesting because I've done that and I said, oh, really? Okay. But, it's interesting to see what you get there, So first of all, you need to be clear about what you want to know. That is for certain. So what you want to do, what I do is I type it out in my Microsoft Word first, see if it makes sense to me. And then I copy and paste it into the chat. It's like breaking down a large topic into small pieces to focus on the main point. How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? Same format. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Same principle. That's what it is. Okay. For example, now, how can I improve my time management skills? That's pretty cool, right? We're always talking about organizing and time management. Ask chat. Question number 2, how can I improve my time management skills and give me a plan? Now that's more specific, isn't it? Number two is more specific. Oh, I just said that. Okay. And so that's what you want to think about. Whatever your question is, see if you can add a little more to it to really pinpoint your answer. It'll make life a lot easier. So when you want a specific answer, then specify your question. This type of question is used to gather more detailed information and get a deep knowledge of any topic. It encourages chat to answer more specifically and share thoughtful responses. And it's amazing what it'll spit out for you, and that you never even thought about. Many times that's happened to me. And said, "Oh, that is cool stuff." For example, you can ask chat how to improve my communication skills. Well, everybody's talking about warm markets, cold markets. Communication skills are definitely utilized in the cold market, where it's not your family, friends, or acquaintances. Cold market is people you don't know. What do you say when you approach a person? You're in a crowd, you're in the line in the supermarket, So you can ask, how can I improve my communication skills? It's great. Now, what you want to know more details of that topic, then you can ask like this, can you tell me more about that? So you ask how to improve my communication skills, and it gives you an answer. Now, doesn't mean you can't continue it. So if you didn't get enough that satisfies you, and this is for anything that you ask it, you can tell it, say, you can type in, can you tell me more about that? No matter what the subject is, any of the previous subjects we already covered. In short, probing questions help you to continue your conversation of any particular subject with chat to understand the topic more closely. This type of question is used to gather more detailed information and get a deep knowledge of any topic. It encourages chat to answer more specifically and share thoughtful responses. For example, you can ask chat how to improve my communication skills. And didn't I just say that? Okay, excellent. And that was a review. Okay. Now, next one, techniques for asking probing questions on chat. Techniques. It's typically follow-up questions that are used to clarify or expand an answer that has already been given to chat. Follow-up questions. To know more details, you can ask this type of question. All right, you already got an answer from a previous question. Then you can say, explain this easy to understand language, or explain this in a language that a teenager can understand, or describe it in a simple language. Can you give me an example? Please provide sources for the previous answer. Well, for that one, there's a way, chat itself, you probably heard or read that it is 2 years old. Anything from 2 years ago to current, it doesn't have in its database. So whatever answers you're getting are older. But I have something in here that you can add to your Google Chrome where you can get up-to-date information. So you can close the gap of those 2 years. However, I found out that with this new edition, without a doubt, no matter what you ask for, it always provides sources for the answer, whether you need it or not, that it tells you where it gets it from. Okay, so this will help you clarify any topic. Now, how to ask the right questions. Now you'll learn some key points to ask the right questions on chat, which will help you to get an exact answer. Use simple language. Oh, yeah. It's 101% true that chat understands our natural language. But when you ask a question using difficult words, it'll not give the desired answer that you're looking for. So use simple language to get the perfect answer. Although you may be teachers and you may be really, really intelligent, have super grammar, love to use big words, again, treat AI as a child and just be as simple as you can. Break it down so there's no question in its mind or database what to give you for an answer, but give detailed information. It's important to give enough information to ask a question that will help chat to provide accurate answers. Instead of asking, tell me the best self-help book, consider asking, what is the all-time best self-help book? You say, there's a lot of great self-help books, but be specific. Now, that's why you need to provide specific details to get the proper response. Now, provide additional information. Providing additional information will improve your response quality. When asking a question on Chatgpt, and provide relevant information that helps chat to understand your query perfectly. Again, you don't have to make it just one sentence. You can make a paragraph so it understands the whole concept of what you want it to give you. For example, instead of asking, who is the president? You can ask, who is the current president of the United States? I mean, who is the president of where? United Nations, United Kingdom, rather, China. You know, you want to be specific. Who is the current president of the United States? So this additional information helps chat to provide accurate responses, right? You see where I'm going? Now you want to break down complex questions. Again, the elephant scenario. If your question is complex, too large, break it down into smaller parts because chat performs better in short, straightforward questions. Yeah. Now, when you break down your complex questions into smaller parts, it helps you to receive accurate and focused questions. Remember, chat is an excellent tool, but it performs better with well-structured queries. So you can take a big concept, big question, break it up into little parts. Again, type it out on your Microsoft Word or whatever document process you use into different sentences, and then you can piece it together after, and you can put it in your blog. Now use proper grammar and punctuations. That's something else that we a lot of times don't think about. For example, chat is designed to understand our natural language. Using proper grammar and punctuation makes your queries easier to understand. So make sure that your questions are grammatically correct and properly punctuated to get accurate responses. Again, use your Microsoft Word. I say that because that's what I have, Microsoft Word, and Microsoft Word will correct any misspelled words, right? So then after you've written down there, you see what you want to ask the AI, then you copy it, paste it into AI, and it'll give you a better response. Now, how to ask follow-up questions on chat. Well, follow-up questions build momentum. Okay, if you're starting out in a blog and you have one paragraph and you say, well, what am I going to do? What to say next? You can go back and your previous question would already be there, right? So it doesn't matter how long it takes. You can be working on your web page and, an hour later, you can go back and you'll still have that question up and answer up there. So then you can always build on that. Now you're going into your next phase of your page and you can, ask it to build momentum, what is the next thing that would be important to say. So it will help chat to understand your intention to answer your question perfectly, following up on your previous one. For example, if you're doing advertising and you got your advertising information, chat helped you write your ad, right? Now you say, okay, I got that, but now I'm going to need headlines. So after a few minutes later, you say, well, okay, I'm going to advertise, but I need headlines. So you go back and you say, okay, please, I say please, nice to be polite. So you say, please give me 10 headlines to go along with your previous answer. And I'll give you, 10 headlines. Now, whether you like them or not, or you can extrapolate from them, mix them around, and you can make yourself good headlines. And that's how you can follow up. In this section, you learn some secret techniques for follow-up questions. Technique number 1. When starting your conversation with chat, you need to follow this technique. Technique number 1, folks. Suppose I need help in programming, let's say to generate a script. Then I order chat like this. Act like a programmer. Then it magically responds as a programmer to use this simple prompt field, like you hired a programmer. You see, for example, you can ask a question regarding this topic. Write a code for JPEG or PDF converter. Then it'll generate code for you. Interesting, huh? Code. Not just text, but code. You can use this prompt to generate anything. All you need to do is change the profession. That's it. Okay. Also, think about this. You can ask it a question. You say, I am a blogger. Tell me, give me a paragraph that I can present to people to let them know about my program. I am a blogger. It'll come around with an answer that will correspond to being a blogger. Okay. Technique number 2. How many times do you face this problem? When you ask a question on chat, it gives you a very long answer that you can't understand or don't want to read. Well, to solve this problem, you can use these prompts. Make a short summary using easy to understand language. Or if you want to make it shorter, then you can add this. Summarize it with easy to understand language in 100 words. Here's something else. In all the ads that you're going to put out, the classified free ads and everything, there's usually a limit of 90 characters. 90 characters. So you can say, give me 10 headlines on nutrient-dense beef classified ad and keep it within 90 characters. Now I've done that and it came up a lot shorter than 90 characters. So I've upped it to about 100 characters and it widens it up a little more. You can play with it. But just so you understand, those classified ad sites headlines looking for only a maximum of 90 characters. So, excuse me, common mistakes to avoid when you do ask a question on chat. A lot of people made some mistakes when they asked questions on chat, and as a result, they didn't get what they expected, right? Ask large questions on chat. Chatgpt will not give accurate information, and when you ask a large question. So you need to ask short questions on chat and ask them one by one to get the best results. Okay. Ask too many questions at a time. Imagine someone asking you too many questions, a very fast talker, and then being able to answer them all at once, and it never happens, right? I mean, you can't remember all the questions, and then you just say, whatever. The chat will face the same problem. It needs clarification about which one should answer first. Okay, of all the different questions. So just keep it to one question and then follow that process. Go to the next question, get the answer, go to the next question. You can always, again, put them all together when you want to. So don't specify the questions. These are things that people are doing wrong. It's very important to specify your questions on chat, because specific questions help it to understand your question deeply to give the best answer. Okay. Again, remember, what I'm going through now are things that people have done wrong when asking chat, when working with chat. So a lot of people don't specify the questions. You do want to specify them. Limitation of chat. And chat has a large amount of information, right? It does not give you the proper answer until you follow the right question structure, as we went over. Now, you need to ask the proper questions with additional information to really get the best results, right? Be specific, be long. You don't have to keep it to one sentence. You can make a paragraph out of it, or even longer than a paragraph, whatever, all the information you can give it to give you the best answer. So compared to Google, when you search for something on it, I mean, Google, it's easy. And that's what we tell everything. You just put it in the search box and whammo, there you go. But if you make a mistake in your spelling or grammar on Google understands it, and it does a search query, and it can still find what you're looking for. It shows you the best and most relevant results based on your question's intention. Okay, but chat won't do that. Because Google has 25 years of experience in this field and has many data analysis techniques to give you the best results, right? That's why you don't have to be so specific and grammar correct with Google. But on the other hand, again, chat is very new and doesn't have much data, especially about human behavior or question patterns. It's an infant. So just like a child, you have to just, when they ask you a question, you give them just a very simple answer. In this case, it's the other way around. When you have a question, you just have to give it a very simple question so it can understand. It doesn't understand unclear questions. So that's why you need to ask it in simple language with additional information to get the proper response. Again, if you don't get the response that you want, you can add to it. You can say, please follow up with that with some more information, or however you want to address that. Now, here's a bonus tip for you. Now, as I was saying before, chat is actually limited. It has limited data. It only goes up to like 2021. So it doesn't give you up-to-date information as is. It's the biggest, limitation of that. That's where it's limited the most. But as I mentioned earlier, there is a Chrome extension called WebGPT, and I've got it active. You see my cursor change? To overcome this limitation, WebGPT. In the PDF file that I'll give you later, all you have to do is just click on it. Okay. Now, just install this extension, then open GPT and enable it. I did that and didn't really have to do much. I installed it, and then when I just started using GPT, it was doing it automatically. So I don't know if you really have to enable it. All right, now it'll access the internet to give you the latest information. So that's pretty good. So in conclusion, chat is the most advanced language model that can provide valuable insight and information when used correctly. If you follow those techniques and implement them, you can optimize your interactions with chat and get the best output for your any question. And I didn't try it. You guys can try it, but I think I heard that you can actually ask it to translate for you also. If anybody has done that, let us know here. Okay. Now, remember, clear and specific questions help chat to provide you the most accurate data. So you need some practice to become a master at how to ask questions in chat and unlock its full potential. Next time when you interact with chat, implement these strategies to get the best answers. What does that mean, prompt? Here's some questions, frequently asked questions. Prompts, are short instructions or suggestions that help you start a conversation to provide you with the best information that you're looking for. It helps chat to understand your needs too. When they say the prompt, give it a prompt. What is the prompt? And on the bottom or on the chat question box on the bottom, or right above that is usually about 3 different suggestions on how to do a prompt. Does Chatgpt give wrong answers? Interesting question. And the answer is yes. Sometimes it gives you the wrong answer because chat will not understand your queries properly to respond. So you need to ask a short and specific question. In addition to that, you want to appreciate the fact that you want sometimes, depending on the answer you get, you want to do a little more research on your own, especially when it comes to dates and people and other specific entities like that. Don't assume that chat will give you proper information. And that is a big thing that is being said on the internet from Google. That's why Google has now their own engine analysis to look at what you have on your website to see if it's actually been done by a AI type chat. So you really want to be careful when using chat to make sure the answers are correct. And it doesn't hurt just to get what they said and then go into your bottom search bar on the bottom of your screen and put a question in, whatever the particular fact that you got from chat gave you. Can chat refuse to answer my question? It depends on your question. If asked for personal, sensitive, or offensive information, then it'll definitely refuse to answer you. It did that to me once, and it was something that I was working on in the blog, and I said, it's like, what is it? Like Google won't accept anything that has to do with wine, okay, or guns, holsters. They've started refusing, they've been refusing that. This is the same, on the same premise. It'll refuse things that are not, of the norm to ask about. Things that are too specific in areas that are not good to give you an answer about. It'll tell you. So, and don't ask for financial or medical advice. Obviously, it's not going to give that to you, because that's not its job. And you don't want to ask it for any legal activity type of questions. Again, how do I make this, that, or the other thing? Okay. You all understand that, right? Okay. Now, does chat give everyone the same answer? I bet you've been thinking about that, haven't you? Well, it doesn't give the same answer to everyone, and it's logical why it doesn't. It depends on your query's specific context, inputting phrasing, and available knowledge. Like the old saying goes, and the old game was, you have like 20 people lined up in a row, and you whisper something in the first person's ear, and you have them turn around and say it to the next person, and turn around, they turn around. Each person says it to the next person. And when they get to the last person, it's totally different than what the first person said, And this is the same thing. There are multiple answers and different perspectives on certain topics. So with everything taken into consideration, you're always going to have something different, because no two people think alike or talk alike or ask the same question the same way. So again, does chat give everyone the same answer? No, but it's still within the realm of the question, So tell me the best way to ask questions to Chatgpt. To ask questions effectively, be clear and specific. Avoid double meaning, and provide context when needed. Ask one question at a time, or for better understanding, to respond accurately. So thank you for your time. I appreciate you all being here. I want to remind you that this previous information was obtained from Unique Trick, and I think it was really great. Okay. Yeah, let me see. It's not a share. There you go. And here's my meat behind us. If you're going to do all of that and you're working on nutrient dense beef, this will give you ideas. Okay. So hopefully you got a lot out of that. Like I said, I will be having the PDF and the recording of this later. So just look for that. Candace, my dear.
I just wanted to share, I don't know if anyone has tried Donna's new label or vintage. It is amazing. I opened it last night. I just wanted to share that. Have you tried it yet, Donna? Is she here? And thank you for a wonderful training. I was excited when Chatgpt is always great to learn new things, right? Because we're all learning together, it's so new. And so I love great information. Thank you very much. But I just wanted to share with everyone, Donna's new wine vintage is wonderful. I tried it last night.
Thanks, Candace. You
You're
got a
very
sip
welcome.
before I did.
You sure are lucky.
Absolutely. It is an honor to be part of that. I get surprised every year. I can't wait to taste it.
Exactly. And your label, the new label is beautiful as well.
It is. I like that one best, I think. It's awesome. Just keeps getting better and better here, guys.
Right.
Really does. And Tom, that was a great presentation. Does anybody have any questions about anything you heard on that?
Before that, let me tell you, I just put in the link to Sheila's page that she had done on this subject and on the nutrient dense beef. It's in the chat. You can click on that and you can
Awesome.
see how she utilizes chat to get her answers. I'll also put that in when I follow up, so you have it all in one place. Okay,
You're saying the link that you just posted, it goes to something Chatgpt something. That's from Sheila from the training she did last Thursday, right?
Correct.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's the information that she says she created on Thursday night training for the meat page. She said you can use the information there to create your own page, headline, key phrases, and ads. And it is all there. Actually, she says there are 2 pages written from different perspectives on the meats. Of course, Sheila, she'll write a whole bunch of pages. But utilize them to create some amazing pages. He says also shows some marketing strategies and techniques. Just some information if you guys would like to use it to create pages and copy. Says hope it helps. Yeah, definitely will. Yes. Hey, Marilyn, we roll along.
Hey there. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I just want to say that I really appreciate these Wednesday sessions. When you first come in, there's letters flying all around your head and people are talking fast. We get a lot of information, which is good. But to have it broken down and talked through is so helpful. And I appreciate the time that you guys put into the PDFs, the PowerPoints and everything. So just thank you.
Thank you for coming, and hopefully you'll be heading up these one day. Yes?
Sure. As soon as I understand where all the ABCs and XYZs.
Yeah. But remember, the best learning is to teach it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not scared.
That is so true, you guys. Every single one of you have something to share. You just don't realize it yet. So make sure you let the guys know when you realize you've got something that hasn't been addressed. Volunteer to share it. It doesn't have to be the whole session. It could be, just a few minutes. Just give us a heads up on what you got so we can share it. We'd love to have everybody, contribute something.
Well, that's why we put out that form, not only to ask questions, but to also give us tips, also things that you learned that you feel everybody else would benefit from. Let us know, and you can just be part of this, however long you want to take. You just let us know, 5 minutes, 1 minute, whatever. And if you find a particular tool that you think can be helpful, then you can tell us here, and you can put it in the chat, and we can copy it down and use it if and when we need it. Yeah. Anything that you've learned along the way that you feel is unique, let us know. I mean, we can all benefit from it. Okay.
Absolutely. Nobody knows everything. So the more we can share, the knowledge that we've gained, the better we all are.
Yeah, nobody knows everything. Remember that. Okay. It'd be nice though, wouldn't it? But we can life is a learning experience. Once you stop learning, that's it, right? Any other questions or comments?
That's what I always heard. If you don't learn something new every day, then you're not living.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Life is a learning experience. Every second of every day. Even when you're sleeping, get some good ideas when you're sleeping.
Absolutely. Keep a notepad next to your bed, because that's when I get my good ideas. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and something will come to me. And if
Mhm.
I don't jot it down, it's gone the next day for sure.
And that's the other thing too, if you want to get something before you go to bed, or when you go to bed before you go to sleep, just think, like Rory's mentioned and everything, cosmically, I need to know how to earn an extra $1,000 a week. What do I need to do? What do I need to do to earn another $1,000 a week? Say that to yourself a few times. Let that be the last thing that you say, and then just drift off. Okay. And you'd be surprised what happens during the night. Things will pop up that you didn't think about. That happened to me actually last week. I said, oh crap, that's right. I could do that, couldn't I? Yeah, when your mind is relaxed, but you have a thought process going on in your head while you're sleeping, it slowly filters down. All your other distractions are moved out of the way, and that one focus point starts to emanate. And whatever you have in your mind, and your mind is a big knowledge factory, it'll pull out in particular parts that you are really interested in learning about, but like Donna said, now get your pad and something to write with by your bed, so you don't forget about it, because you could, but not always, but you could. So it's always good to have a pad by your bed and something to write with, of course. All right. Okay, folks. Well, next week we're going to have interesting subjects, and we're going to try to answer previous questions and also get you refreshed on staking. So I want you all to be here to keep updated with that. Okay, get here early, at least 5 minutes early. Appreciate it, so we can get started on time. And again, have your questions sent to us, preferably before we have the meetings, so we have time to work on them if necessary. Okay. That sound good to everybody? I'm going to stop the recording now. And thank you all for coming.